Unique breathing styles. There are several types of breathing styles and moves, varying from slicing to stabbing to gracefully parrying. Each Demon Slayer has a specific breathing style and fighting style that suits their preferences. And this works because breathing styles have branched out to match each swordsman's power sets. Starting with the first breathing style, it branched out into 5. Then different swordsmen began creating their own techniques. There's no end to the excitement. Today, we'll be choosing and ranking the fastest forms out of all of these breathing styles. We'll also be looking into each breathing style's effects, so stay tuned till the end. Number 5. Wind breathing. First form, Dust Whirlwind Cutter. Dust Whirlwind Cutter propels the user with a tornado-like wind, the actual attack happening by slicing as they pass their target. Water breathing and fire breathing show water and fire effects respectively, but the effects are just to show the beauty of each move and are not actual water or fire. However, as the name implies, wind breathing actually creates gusts of wind with each attack. The first time this move is shown is during the pillar training with Giyu Tomioka. Even against the water pillar Giyu Tomioka, the speed and power was astonishing, to the point where Giyu's wooden sword cracks after receiving a single blow. Tanjiro was watching from the shadows and was also shocked at the move's speed and power, saying he could barely follow it with his eyes. The second time this move makes its appearance is during the fight against Upper Rank 1, Kokushibo. Making his appearance by protecting his brother Genya, Sanemi smashed multiple large pillars to get to Kokushibo and made him finally pull out his sword. Dust Whirlwind Cutter is both fast and strong enough to make the Upper Rank 1, the strongest demon besides Muzan, show his sword. Number 4. Mist Breathing. 7th form, Obscuring Clouds. Obscuring Clouds is a form created by Mist Pillar Muichiro Tokito and made its appearance during the battle against Gyokko and Kokushibo. Though the power difference against Kokushibo led to Muichiro getting locked in place by Kokushibo's swords, Kokushibo commented on Muichiro's Obscuring Clouds as hard to predict and a good technique. When going against Gyokko's true form, something only 3 people had seen, Muichiro cuts off his head faster than Gyokko's absolute fastest speed. For the Upper Rank 5 to show his true self, and for Muichiro to single-handedly beat him. That means Obscuring Clouds was just that strong. One of Obscuring Clouds' key characteristics is that unlike forms that specialize in speed, it mixes different speeds together to toy with the target. The larger the speed differences are, the more effective Obscuring Cloud gets. It's not like it's constantly fast, but the instantaneous speed ranks close to the top among all breathing styles. Number 3. Thunder Breathing. First form, Thunderclap and Flash. When most people hear speed, they think of the thunder breathing user, Zenitsu. Of all the thunder breathing forms, Zenitsu could only use the first form for the longest time. Though he couldn't use any other form, his mentor, former pillar Kuwajima, told him to sharpen that one form, and eventually, it evolved into 6-fold, 8-fold, and Godspeed. In particular, Godspeed, even upper rank 6 Daki couldn't keep up her eyes with it, and had a sword against her neck in an instant. It was thanks to this speed-based move that Zenitsu, who wasn't a pillar and didn't have much on-field experience, was able to corner an upper-rank demon. Even Zenitsu could put power into Thunderclap and Flash. If there was a thunder-breathing user among the pillars, they must have even more speed and power. Tanjiro actually used Thunderclap and Flash's stance that he learned from Zenitsu to get close to a retreating Hantengu and created the Waltz Flash, a Hinokami Kagura and thunder-breathing collaboration. Even Tanjiro apparently thinks of Zenitsu's Thunderclap and Flash when he thinks of speed. If other breathing style users also practice the Thunderclap and Flash like Tanjiro, their power might go up. Number 2. Insect Breathing. Dance of the Centipede. 100-Leg Zigzag. Insect breathing is a breathing style created by insect pillar Shinobu Kocho. In the entire series, Shinobu is the only user. Insect breathing is made up of attacks to poison demons. This style was made for Shinobu to make up for her inability to cut off demons' heads due to her small stature. It's actually thanks to her small size that she can move much faster, and if we take her position as pillar into consideration, we can tell just how fast her stabbing speed is. She's fast enough to make even the upper rank 2, Doma, say she was the fastest pillar he'd ever seen. Her 100-legged zigzag is probably the fastest form she has. This attack wiped off Doma's cocky grin in an instant, and Doma had been active acting like nothing fazed him up until that point. At one point, Shinobu even managed to stab Doma in the neck and pin him against the ceiling. Insect breathing is tied to light and graceful speed, but unlike speed specializing breathing styles, like thunder breathing, instead of slicing, there needed to be a lot of stabbing to inject poison, so the user needed to get close like fencing. It seems like it was designed to get near the target in an instant. Thunder breathing can also get the user close up to the target instantaneously, but it was more for fast transportation, so even enemies at a distance can't let their guard down. Even against the upper rank 2 by herself, Shinobu was able to stab him in the neck. Taking that into consideration, it's clear as day how fast 100-leg ZIGZAG is. Number 1. Thunder Breathing, 7th form, HONOIKAZUCHI no Kami. The title as the fastest form in Demon Slayer goes to HONOIKAZUCHI no Kami, a thunder-breathing form personally created by Zenitsu Agatsuma. This is the 7th form created by Zenitsu to defeat Kaigaku. During his pillar training, Zenitsu received a letter via his sparrow, Chuntaro, saying that his mentor committed suicide to take responsibility for Kaigaku turning into a demon. He continued his training with frustration and anger in heart, leading to the creation of this form. This form is the result of Zenitsu polishing his first form, Thunderclap and Flash, the only form he could use. He defeated Kaigaku, who was only just recently turned into a demon, but still ranking as upper rank 6. Even for Kaigaku, who not only was a thunder-breathing user himself, but also used more forms and on top of that, had the perks of a demon. It was impossible to keep his eyes on Zenitsu. What was particularly amazing about this move was how Zenitsu was able to cut Kaigaku's head off while he was unstable mid-air. Even though he couldn't push off very well, it was that speed. If he pulled off the same move in a more stable area, the speed then would be unimaginable. On top of that, at the time of the Infinity Castle battle, Zenitsu wasn't even a pillar. If Zenitsu reaches pillar level strength, then uses HONOIKAZUCHI no Kami, he would be unstoppable. To defeat strong demons, not only do you need cutting strength, but you'll also need either speed or skill. Now we finished going through our top 5 picks, but some worthy forms just barely missed our ranking. Let's take a look at 3 of our honorable mentions. Extra number 1. Flame Breathing, 9th form, Rengoku. This form is said to be the flame-breathing signature move, named after the Rengoku family that sent out flame pillars generation after generation. To those pillars, for this signature move to have their own last name, they must be proud and confident in its power. This form was first shown to us in the battle between Kyojuro Rengoku and Akaza during the Infinity Train arc. One characteristic of flame breathing is a strong stance that lets the user attack and defend without moving from their spot. Even from watching Kyojuro and Senjuro's training scenes, we can see how well they do at one-on-one close quarter hits. However, the 9th form, Rengoku, is a bit different. After holding in energy, it gets let out on the target all at once. Surrounded by the most flames, it cuts at the target with a loud bang. As told by Kyojuro, it slices up a large area on the target in an instant. Kyojuro can deal any flame-breathing form from any position, but even he had to fully plant his feet to pull off this move, which just shows how much power this needs. Akaza used Destructive Death, Annihilation style, to counter Rengoku, causing dust to blow into the air, and Tanjiro needing to grind down to keep from getting blown away. Why didn't Rengoku rank in the top 5? It definitely had power and speed, but the form's true characteristic isn't its speed. But as Kyojuro said, it was its ability to carve out a large amount, which is why it didn't rank in. Extra number 2. Wind Breathing, 8th form, Primary Gale Slash. Sanemi Shinazugawa's Wind Breathing also ranked in top 5. His 8th form is Primary Gale Slash. Wind breathing is wind, so there's a lot of speed involved. But the fastest forms are Dust Whirlwind Cutter and Primary Gale Slash. Primary Gale Slash was used against Kokoshibo. It's a move that gets the user close to their target and slices as if to box the target in. They get up close to the enemy, so it needs to be fast. Sanemi pulled this off after getting beat up by Kokoshibo, so this technique at this best condition must be pretty fast. Extra number 3. Sound Breathing, 1st form, Roar. Roar was first shown by sound pillar Tengen Uzui during the Entertainment District arc. While looking for any sign of demons, Uzui heard sounds of fighting coming from beneath the ground. He swung his 2 swords down with full strength, making explosive sounds on impact, and busted a massive hole in the ground that reached Taki's food storage space in one go. From the description, Tengen Uzui wields 2 swords. These 2 swords have an unbelievable explosive strength. Nobody knows how they work, for those who have received a blow from them have never survived. This goes to show just how strong they are. The techniques themselves push power above all. But to be able to create a hole in the ground in an instant, Uzui is talented for sure. This is even shown in the official fanbook. Being fast means he could get close to the enemy faster, then attacking faster. So if you think about that, for Roar to reach its full potential, there needs to be a lot of speed. That's all for ranking the fastest breathing forms. Demon Slayer also has many more forms. If you think a different form should have ranked in, please let us know in the comments down below. We would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching. We have more amazing videos coming up, so subscribe to stay tuned. We'll see you next time.